Hey, ooh, that's close. Let me back you up a little. So, hello. Where are we? Well, we're home. Still working on a teepee, but not the poles or the canvas. Some of that other stuff that has to get done, like that big rope that you saw me wrapping the canvas with, is a braided cord, braided rope. It's 50 or 60 feet long, and I could only find it in white. So I went to Walmart and I picked up some brown dye and boiled some water, put the rope in the water, and dyed it. Put the dye in and dyed the rope brown. So it worked out well. Rope came out the color I wanted it to, um, which is exactly what I was looking for, a darker rope. That's one of the things that you have to, the other things you have to do. And the other thing is preserving the TiPi lacing pins, which are these, and the ground stakes, which are these. Every one of these is handmade. These took about 15 minutes to make each, and these take about a half an hour to make, maybe a little longer. Yeah, about a half an hour to make each. But they take it out of you. So the way I preserve them is I use a combination of this here, which is, you probably can't see it. Let's see if we can tilt you down to it. It's boiled linseed oil and turpentine mix, 50-50 ratio. And they have to be mixed hot for the chemical reaction for them to bind, and for the molecules to be able to bind properly. Of course, that wasn't discovered for a while in reading up on this and how the whole process started. So this preservative, now you go out and you buy boiled linseed oil, but in the day you would just buy linseed oil and turpentine, and you would boil them both and combine them hot, and that's boiled linseed oil and turpentine. So anyways, now you can just go out and buy the boiled linseed oil, but you still have to heat it back up in order for it to have the chemical reaction of the binding process. So these are all on their second staining, and I've got 2 more to go on each one, on the lacing pins and the ground stakes. 2 more stainings to go on each, and you really should be doing this out. So I'm doing this outdoors, and the reason you should do it outdoors is this stuff will kill you. Last night I did stained a couple of them inside the house, and boy, I tell you what, man, I had a headache last night. Hit me about 2 in the morning. Wanted about knock me down. Took some Tylenol. Wasn't even capable of getting up this morning to go hunting. It kind of peed me off. But anyways, so these will be on their 3rd, and maybe even get them to their 4th staining today, I hope, depending on how the sun stays out. And other than that, there's not much I can do. The wind is blowing too hard for me to lay the canvas out in order to draw it and cut it. So I'm hoping that tomorrow morning I'll be able to get out early in the morning and lay out the canvas and get it all drawn and cut, and then get all the folds done and pinned so that I can start sewing. And so yeah, that's the next step, is to get that all done. And then I have to find some place where I can, after all the sewing is done, find some place where I can lay it out and and do the painting, which is, I'm not sure which is going to be the hardest, the sewing or the painting. I'm figuring it's going to take me probably 3, maybe 4 days of continual sewing to be able to get the canvas all, the edges all seamed up, the holes for the lacing pins, which have to be, actually that's something else I have to do today. I have to wax the string that I'm going to be using for the lacing pin openings, And so the lacing pin openings will be made exactly to this exact diameter here. Those holes will be cut to that exact diameter, and then each one of those holes will be hand stitched around with the threading, with waxed thread. That'll make it just a little bit smaller than what these pins are, but they'll be able to open. And the reason for that is you want them to be able to go through it and lace, but still be able to keep water out, and that's the reasoning for the wax. It'll help put pressure on it to keep it from allowing water to go through, and I got to do that with all of them. And the holes for the loops for the ground stakes, they're not going to be grommets. They're going to be loops that come out from the canvas, and then the rope will tie to those loops. Because the canvas actually stays about 6 inches off the ground, 6 to 8 inches off the ground. I'm going to keep mine about 6 inches off the ground because I'm probably not going to have a fire in there all the time, depending on where we're camping. Now I am going to buy a portable above ground fire pit. I found one at Ocean State, and I also found one at Target. They're roughly about the same price. I'm going to try to go with a 30-inch. The one at Ocean State is a 24-inch. 6 inches isn't a big deal, but the point is I also have to be able to find one of those round grill covers to be able to put over it so that we can cook on top of it. So it needs to have a deeper bottom, which this one actually, Ocean State has the deeper bottom, so I can actually put charcoal in there. And the one at Ocean State doesn't have a deep bottom, so it'd be a problem with fire. With the charcoal, it'd be too close. The food would all be too close to the top of the grill. So, anyways, that's where I'm at with that stuff. This is a lot of stuff that's going to happen. My buddy John is checking on a trailer for me tomorrow. We're going to find out if we can pick it up, and we'll bring it up to his house and start fabricating the trailer, which will consist of a 4-foot by 8-foot by 3-foot box, sealed box, so that the water can't get in or get out, and that will hold all of our equipment, including chairs, table, sleeping bags, canvas, lacing pins, ropes. Everything will be inside that big box on top of the trailer. And then 4 feet above the trailer will be where the racks will sit to hold the poles on top. And that's why I have to have at least an 18-foot trailer. John's pretty sure that this is a 24-foot trailer, which would mean that I could put the poles on and not have very much overhang whatsoever. And the trailer is so light that even my little car will be able to tow it. And I'm going to try to find a pretty cheap secondhand truck if I can do that. If I can, to pick up, so I can haul the trailer. But if not, I should still be able to haul it with the Chevy Cruze. It only weighs about 300 pounds, so really shouldn't be that much of a big deal. So yeah, that's where we're at. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen, in between. Everybody thinks of the TiPi and they think of the canvas and they think of the poles, but there's a lot of other stuff that has to happen also in order for it to come together. I'm gonna have to find some green paint. I've got all the other paints for the TiPi except for the green, and that's because there's such a large amount of green. I'm probably going to need 2 gallons of it in order to paint the bottom of the TiPi. And then also the inside of the TiPi, the inside of the inside wall has to get done, and there's a lot of work that's going to go in that, especially because there's mosaics on it, and there's also from left to, from the left side around the inside to the right will be the phases of the moon. So that's going to be, quite a bit of work. I'm pretty sure I'm going to hold off on doing the ozone, maybe till next year. I don't know. I'm going to see if I have enough material. I'll cut the ozone out, but I'm probably going to wait on doing the ozone. If I do it, what I want to do it is in complete black, and then use white to make stars, and then I can do the night sky where over Lexi's head when she was born, and it'll be the stars that were in the sky that night right above Manchester. And I know Leo was in the Leo, which is what Lexi's sign is, was in the sky that night, and so was Virgo. And Virgo is my sign and her mother's sign, so she will have all of those. And the North Star was in that. Ursa Major is in that, and the North Star is what you've known me. I call Lexi the North Star, so that's her star, and so that'll be the night sky for her, and that's the goal. That's the long-term goal. But right now, finish up lacing these. Staining these. I've also got to go out at some point in probably 3 weeks. I still have to go to John's house at least once a week to turn the poles. I should be turning them every 4 days, but I can't get out there that much. It's an hour and a half drive one way. So, but the poles I have to get turned again and again and again for the next 3 weeks, and then at the end of that, they should be dry enough for me to be able to use turpentine and boiled linseed oil on those as well, and that's also going to take quite a while. About every 3 days, I will have to make that trip to go out and stain them again and again and again. Some places say twice you should stain them. There's a company that does these poles all the time, and they say 3 times. So to be on the safe side, I'm going to do 4, so, because that's the way I am. Anyways, that's where we're at, and yeah, a lot to do. I've got some reading to do, and I'm just going to chill out here today, and in a couple hours I'll give these another staining, read some more, and in a couple hours I'll do some more staining, unless I get rained on. So, hey, take care. Hoo-hoo. See ya.